2015 is looking to be shaping up into a huge year in the movie department, and I'm going to break down the ones I'm looking most forward to. Just to clarify, this list is going to contain mostly blockbuster releases and only a couple smaller films. The reason being is that we are very early on in the year, so it's hard to know what smaller films or hidden gems will be releasing. I may make a most anticipated list for those Oscar bait films later on in the year once they start getting release dates. But until then, let's jump into this list. 15. Terminator Genisys, July 1st. Arnold Schwarzenegger is back for his fifth, technically fourth, outing as the Terminator, and they are hoping to kickstart the franchise back to life. This would technically be the second attempt at trying to revive this classic franchise, and I'm hoping for the best. I was actually a fan of Salvation and sad to see there wasn't much payoff. Emilia Clarke, J.K. Simmons, Jason Clarke, and Jai Courtney will star alongside the veteran Schwarzenegger, which looks to be a decent and talented cast. Terminator Genisys looks to be a fun time that is filled with plenty of callbacks to the original but still sadly revolving around the same premise of the first four films. Why can't we just move forward? 14. Insurgent, March 20th. Divergent was a decent start to an odd premise. I've read the books and saw the film and still don't know how I feel about franchise. It lacks the oomph The Hunger Games has and the depth that Harry Potter has. For some reason though, I believe the team bringing book 2 to life are going to make another decent film that's better than its predecessor and its source material. That's all you really need from a film in March anyways, right? 13. Paper Towns, June 5th. Paper Towns is a book by author John Green, the same guy that brought us The Fault in Our Stars. Paper Towns is one of his earlier books and one of his best. I'm all for coming of age stories and young romance. Luckily Paper Towns delivers on all those levels. 12. Ant-Man, July 17th. Marvel seemingly can't put a bad movie out, and Ant-Man has a good chance of not changing the tide. I'm excited to see how absurd they can make the character, and I think Paul Rudd is going to be alright as this particular superhero. Here's hoping for the best. 11. Tomorrowland, May 22nd. Disney, Brad Bird and George Clooney. You can do the math. Tomorrowland has the making to be yet another Disney classic, and it's from director Brad Bird, who arguably hasn't made a movie less than spectacular. Luckily its 2 teaser trailers have done nothing but crank up the hype and make you want to kill to see more. 10. Mission Impossible 5, July 31st. Speaking of Brad Bird, Mission Impossible 5 got moved up 4 months to make a July release date. While Brad Bird isn't returning to direct, hopefully Christopher McQuarrie can take what Bird did and continue the magic. It shouldn't be difficult. This also marks the 4th time Tom Cruise and McQuarrie have teamed up together for a film. 9. Mockingjay Part 2, November 20th. The Hunger Games has had an extraordinary run in the cinema, and it has one more left. Mockingjay Part 1 set up a convincing enough plot for its sequel to take advantage of. I have faith in this cast and crew to deliver a great ending to this underdog franchise. 8. Insidious Chapter 3, June 5th. Insidious has become a great horror franchise that mostly relies on real scares, atmosphere, and flat-out creepy moments. Insidious Chapter 3 released one trailer and it looks to be the penultimate of the series. 7. Furious 7, April 3rd. Paul Walker is sadly back for one last ride in the 7th installment of the ludicrous Fast and Furious franchise. Furious 7 looks to be the biggest and most outrageous of them all, and that's a good thing. Let's hope this cast and crew can make an emotional and grand send-off for its biggest star. 6. Spectre, November 6th. Daniel Craig is returning for his 4th outing as 007. There is a lot of expectations for this movie considering its predecessor was an Oscar-winning film. I'm very interested to see where they take the series after all the game-changing moments from Skyfall. Certainly Spectre is going to cement Daniel Craig's Bond films as the best among all the rest. 5. 50 Shades of Grey, February 13th. Yes, I know. As crazy as it seems, 50 Shades of Grey is in my top 5 most anticipated films of the year. I've read all the books and find them as a guilty pleasure. I'm not expecting the film to be a masterpiece, but I expect it to be what the book is. 50 Shades of Grey is surely going to set the world on fire, for good or bad. One thing is certain, though, it's become one of the most anticipated romance films in the last decade. For Avenger, Age of Ultron, May 1st. What can I say? Marvel and Disney can't do wrong. Joss Whedon is back for his second Avengers flick, and probably his last. And it's clear that he wants to go out with a bang, and has even admitted to some game-changing events that are in the film. Not only am I excited to the spectacle and action, I'm also very curious to see where this film leads the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We can all be happy to know that Avengers, Age of Ultron will rock. The question is just how hard will it rock? 3. Fantastic Four, August 7th. Josh Trank's Fantastic Four reboot has been under fire the past few months. Reports are saying the film is in trouble, there are problems on set, and nobody has faith in the film. When you take that, and combine it with the fact that this is indeed a reboot that is taking liberties with the source material and its cast is a bunch of young kids, it certainly has the world against it. But I have faith in Trank, and believe he can deliver an interesting take on the Fantastic Four. I love that Trank is taking liberties, and he has went out and picked a young but very talented cast. With the recent release of the film's trailer, it very well cemented the fact that we will be getting a new fresh take on some of the oldest superhero characters to ever grace the pages of comic books. 2. Jurassic World, June 1-2. Jurassic World is the very long-awaited fourth installment to this classic franchise, and it looks to be a good hands. I love Chris Pratt and what he does, and I'm excited to see him in a much more serious role. The trailers promise to bring back the magic to the franchise, not just for the original fans, but for the younger generation as well. Also, that the chilling new version of the original film's theme is absolutely something to get excited about. At least we know the film will be nice on theirs. 1. Star Wars: The Force Awakens, December 18th. Whether you love it or hate it, you have to be interested in what J.J. Abrams and company is doing with Star Wars Episode 7. Since the film was announced, the hype has been building every day. Every piece of news that has been released has all been positive and exciting. You can't help but be curious about The Force Awakens. J.J. Abrams has brought together a truly amazing and diverse cast. How can a film live up to so much? We will find out, and I'm betting the film is going to blow people away. I grew up with the prequels, and I'm thrilled to finally be able to see a great Star Wars film on the big screen. If the trailer is anything to go by, we can expect an exciting new take on the franchise that is very well in vein of the originals. This is indeed the sequel we are looking for. So those are my most anticipated films of 2015. Let me know what you think of my list and what you would have done differently.